Okay, we are looking at Lignum case study. Okay, Lignum case study is a kind of a good case study because it comes up for the examines. If question 1 is a hedging question, got it? Hedging question, you might get something like this. So let's go through the case study and see what it's supposed to do. Inside the case study, there are a few parts. Prepare a report for Lignum Treasury Division that briefly explain the type of currency exposure Lignum faces for each of the above case. The different type of exposure, got it? So this is your knowledge of different types of exposure. Then you got computes the gain or loss on the Namalco statement of financial position due to devaluation of Maram Ringgit. In case 2, discuss whether how this exposure should be managed. So this is a question where you have to calculate. It's actually IS 21. IS 21, does that make sense? Revaluation, basically you're doing the exchange gain or loss for the subsidiary. Make a note. This is something, you're not aware means your accounting is, you studied in your SBR or P2 before. Just maybe you might have forgotten but you just need to know the mathematics for this, okay? They discuss whether it's appropriate for Lignum. Okay, then discuss how the exposure in case 3 can be managed, 3 marks. Okay. So that's about the issue there. Next, using Black-Scholes model for valuing real options, estimate the current value of the option to produce the new machinery, determine whether the company should proceed assuming the production revenue and cost arises in year end. Okay, so they kind of give you 12 marks for calculating the BSOP. If you know how to do it, it'll be fast. Alright? Discuss whether it's appropriate for Lignum to use Monte Carlo simulation in the evaluation of this opportunity. Then part C, explain 5 input factors that are included in Black-Scholes model for option valuation. So they want can you explain this model? Okay, that's basically it. That's basically the report requirement. So let's get started and saying, if this is the question, the first thing you're going to do is going to be, let's look at the word processor and you start organizing. Remember, you start organizing the word processor, correct? Always start by organizing the word processor. Let's go through this. Just put this in. We'll put the case study requirement here. We'll put the word report. Okay, then you do put this introduction here. Okay, now let's have a quick read of the case study. And the case study should be small. Okay, remember, case studies in this paper are not that big, yes or not? Okay, but okay, Lignum is a large listed company manufactures agriculture machines, equipment for different markets around the world. Although its main manufacturing is based in France, it uses euro as the base currency. Okay, euro is its base currency, that means functional currency. Functional currency, okay, make a note, it's a functional currency. It also has a few subsidiary companies around the world. Lignum Co. Treasury Division is considering how to approach the following three cases of foreign exchange exposure that it faces. Case 1, Lignum regularly trades a company in Zuhid, a small country in South America, whose currency is Zu Peso. It recently sold a machinery for ZP 1.4 million. Okay, that's the number. Sold. Sold means you are supposed to get the money. Correct? Get ZP and translate to you. So you do have to understand that first. Okay. Which is about to be delivered to a company based there. It's expecting full payment in 4 months. Okay. Those are the things you need to know. 4 months. Although there is no exchange traded derivative available for Zu Peso. Okay, notice there is no exchange traded derivative. Meaning there is no futures, forwards, options in the traded market. Okay. So that means it locks out the normal hedging lah. Okay. Medis Bank has offered a choice of two over-the-counter derivative product, OTC. Okay, because I am suspicious of the OTC type question this time also. Because OTC, we've done a lot of ETOs, exchange traded options and exchange traded derivative. This is OTC. So sometime already this question hasn't come out. So there's a chance. The first derivative is over-the-counter forward. Okay, notice over-the-counter forward rate determined on the basis of base rate of 8.5 plus 25 basis point and French base rate. So they give you the calculation of the interest rate. That means you must calculate the future forwards based on the interest rate formulas. You should have thought about that. Did you think about it? You're like, oh, okay, I need to use the base rate calculations. All right. Alternatively, the second derivative product Lignum can purchase is either a euro call or a put option for Medis Bank at an exercise price equivalent to current spot rate of ZP 142 per £1,000. The option premiums are ZP 1 per and call premium is so much. They already given you the costing. So they gave you either an OTC option or OTC forward. Okay. The premium cost is payable in full at the commencement of the option contract. Normal lah. Lignum can borrow money at a base rate 150 basis point. Now the last one here tells you it's a money market hedge. It's a money market hedge. Got it? So you should be aware that you have a money market hedge, you got an OTC option, you got an OTC forward. Fair enough? Okay, so you need to deal with 3 hedges. Case 2, okay. Namel Co. is Lignum subsidiary in a subsidiary company based in Maram, a small country in Asia whose currency is MR, looks like Malaysian ringgit lah. The current notice the current pegged exchange rate between Maram and Euro is this one. This is exactly Malaysia lah, because only Malaysia pegged the currency at one point in time. Peg is basically they lock the currency. Long time ago, Mahathir locked the currency of Malaysian ringgit to the dollar. During the 1997-1998 financial crisis, he locked the dollar to the ringgit. He locked it because of speculation and all that. So that's the meaning of the peg. Okay, so you don't change really, fixed already. Okay. Okay, due to economic difficulties in Maram over the last couple of years, it's very likely Maram ringgit will devalue 20% immediately. That means later on it will go down in value 20%. Got it? Namelco is considering about the impact of the devaluation on the statement of financial position. Okay, they've given you the financial position. This should be, I repeat, these numbers would have been given to you in a spreadsheet. You just have to copy and paste it. Usually they are given a spreadsheet. Okay, extract given here. Now, current asset consists of inventory, receivable, cash. Receivable accounts for 40% of the current assets. All the receivable relates to sale made to Lignum Co. in euro. About 70% of current liability consists of payable relating to raw material purchased from Lignum Co. payable in euro. This is a very complicated question because of the currencies that are exposure. Got it? 80% of non-current liability consists of euro loan. The balance are borrowing source from financial institution in Maharam. Okay, so we do need to make some notes about this, and we will handle this later on. Okay, case 3. Lignum manufactures a range of farming vehicles in France, which it sells in Euro Union to countries which use euro. Over previous year, it has found that sales revenue from this product has been declining, and sales director is of opinion that this is entirely due to the strength of euro. Well, which sells to European Union over the few years, found that sales revenue for this product has been falling because of the euro. Lignum's biggest competitor in this product is based in US, and the US rate has changed almost to parity and continue to depreciate for possible future rate. So this is what we call economic risk. Yes or not? Got it? Okay. That's about it. So let's talk about the 3 types of currency exposure now. Okay, so the 3 types of currency exposure that you have. Okay, let's look at this part. So okay, that's a normal thing that you do, right? Can That setup, get it done quickly all the time. I think by now you're used to it. You should know what to do. All right. Get it organized, and let's look at the answer. So whatever you can answer, usually I suggest try to knock off the theory questions first. Try to write some nonsense first. Whether the nonsense work or don't work, don't worry, write first. Are you clear? Because once you engage the monster called calculation questions, it can take up a lot of time. So whatever you can, try to write up the theory questions first. And this worked because one student, I told this, because he every time do the calculation question first. Every time. And I think he did 2 times or 3 times. He failed. Then I told him, no, don't do the calculation first. Just whack all the theory first. Write all the theory first. Then you focus on the calculation which is easiest first. Don't do the hard calculation first. Because once you engage the monster eats you up. So in this AFM paper, you have to play strategy a bit. You cannot play like go in sequence and get killed. So when he tried it, he said he sure failed. He confirmed he sure failed. But then when he get the result, he passed. He also said he doesn't understand how come. He said, I told him because it's the marginal earning of marks. How you earn your marks changes when you do the written part first. They can give you marks on the marker 10 to give marks on. The calculation, the marker is very critical. This paper, the markers are very calculated orientation. So written part, they are kind of relaxed a bit. So try to score on that part first. So this one, let's talk about the 3 types of risk. So case 1 is what risk? Case 1 is, so we're talking about risk exposure. So in terms of case 1, case 3, Okay, you okay, Naspat? Yes, no? Can? Okay, that covers the first part of the question. Okay, the next part of the question ask you to do the hedging, yes or not? Okay, hedge strategies. Okay, now here recommend which of the two derivative Lignum should use to manage its exposure to KSO and advise alternative hedge. Now, notice this part. Recommend which of the two. Out of the two is what? The forward and the option, correct? Then advise on alternative hedge, that's the money market hedge. Clear? Okay. Show all relevant calculations. So you probably get about 2 marks for the, or 2 marks or 1 mark for the, maybe 3 marks for the forward, maybe 2 marks for the futures, maybe about 4 marks for the cash flow hedge. Guys, have you all done the hedge already? Yes, no? Have you all calculated the hedging position? How much money will be received? Have you got that ready? So this is the outcome. Okay, how? Okay, let's look at the calculation, see whether you can get the numbers or not. Okay, let's look at the first information you need. Okay, the first information you need is, let's look at the rates available. So forward rates. Okay. And what do you have here is going to be France. Okay, those are the rates. Okay, what's the effective rate? So how? 4 months, right? Can get the two rates? Yes, no? Can I? So forecast rate is down here. Use this formula here. Can see this? S1 FO equals to SO times 1 plus IC 1 plus IB. Got it? Can? Currently is quoted as ZP142 per euro, right? Base is going to be euro. Yes, no? Can? Got it? Can? Are you okay? Any questions there? All okay, the first one you should get. Okay, let's go to the next part of the calculation. Can I go on to the next part? Oh, the next part is you're supposed to work out on options. Premium cost commencement option. Lignum can borrow money at base rate of 150 basis points, invest money So here, $3.7. Can? Oh, okay. We don't know what's the borrowing rate in overseas, and we don't have the two rate, so we can't use the money market hedge. Got it? But we already got the two numbers here already. 936715, and the other one is 964042. Does that make sense? You okay? Can all okay? So we got our numbers here. I can put these numbers inside the word processor, and we can say the forward contract is giving us 964. Put the symbol inside. I'm going to put the euro symbol. 964042. Here we're going to get a symbol again. I insert the symbol. Can? Clear? Can I move on? Okay, so based on this, we can now come to a statement and say what's going on. right? Those are all the hedging methods you could have done. Got it? Okay, let's look at the calculation for this one. How much is the gain or loss from the translation? Got it? So you're given all these numbers, right? Copy them across. Okay, this is the values. Okay, let's look at this one. MR value is going to be, well, how much is the non-current asset is going to be? Well, it says here, current asset. So this one is 100%. Okay. Receivables accounts for 40% current asset. All receivables are made in euros, so only 60% is exposed. NCL, okay, about 70% current liabilities considered payable. To raw material purchase from Lignums and payable in euro. So this one only can. Okay. Can I? Last one. current rate is how much? 35 per dollar. So basically right, are we okay to start? Yes, no? So there's a weakened economy there. Can? So that covers this issue. They're all designed for short term, okay? Okay, then there is no calculation there. Got it? Let's talk. Let's say I told you some of the answers. Just talk with me. So you just can talk, you get the marks only. Okay, are we okay in this part? Can, huh? All okay, guys? Okay, now the B sub one, you haven't done the calculation yet, right? So let's look at the case study, and you start collecting data first as usual. Okay, let's collect data first. Remember this question, you do need to collect data first, correct? Okay, I hope you did the data collection first already. Okay, look at source data first. So in this case, Lignum has recently successfully tested a revolutionary new agriculture machine. It's now considering whether to undertake necessary development work in order to make it viable commercial product. It believes development phase will take 3 years, costing 2.5% per annum, including inflation, following the machinery's market 12 years life. Okay, so let me just do this. So in this case, source data, you're going to put life is 12 years. Okay. The demand is estimated at 60 units per annum, and the production require special steel alloy whose price are quite volatile, but would be 800,000 in today's price, and Lignum intend to sell at 12.5% premium. Steel alloy prices are expected to rise 4% per annum with a standard deviation of 22%. Okay, let's make sure you get this one correct. So here you do need to figure out how much is the cost. How much is the cost here? Okay, I finished all of the data here. Okay, inflation is how much? Now, since I'm dealing with one number only, so one number only, I better calculate the get the money rate, real rate. Cost of capital is the money rate, so the real cost of capital so I should get about 7.69 cost of capital, yes, no? So I did get a 7.69. What's going on? Is it suddenly starting to talk to me? Okay, that would be the wait, how did I on my my recorder is on. Hold on. Now moving on, let's go into the next part. The next part is, you already got this data already. You finish this one. Standard deviation. Right, Lignum would need to need to take on the new production facility for this engine at 3 years time. Development cost will be 31.4 million. Okay, this would be the I do need to figure out my how much is the other factors. Okay, now I already got my PE already, got it? So let's look at the development cost PE is given. Okay, cost of capital, risk-free rate. So I got my R, I got my PE, S. Okay, the tricky part here, when is the T? How much is the T in this question? Is it 3 years or is it 12 years? Is it 3 years or is it 12 years? Well, it's a decision that you have to make in 3 years' time because you'd have to develop for 3 years, correct? So the T is going to be 3. So these are all the big judgments you have to make. If you didn't get these judgments out, then you got a problem already. So you got your R, T, S, P, E. The only number missing right now is what? PA right now. PA looks like I have to calculate this based on my valuation here. I got a 12-year calculation here, got it? So I got my base, I need to calculate my base NPV. My development cost PV is going to be how much? Well, my development cost PE is going to be something like this. This one, pay attention, is going to be based on what? Well, I'm going to spend how many payments here? For payment is 2.5 million. Is viable commercial. It believes the development phase will take 3 years, costing 2.5 million per annum, including now. So basically, we are starting at year 0, 1, 2. Got it? Year 0, 1, and 2. Does that make sense? So you should get 6.73. Can you wanna just put this one here. Now be careful with this one. This one a lot of people make mistake because of a lot of people make mistakes here, but it's okay. The element cost PV done. Okay, next I need to calculate the NPV of the PA value. Got it? PA value. Follow? Now the PA value year 3 to how much? Does that make sense? Okay. Okay, see, at the end of year 3 you start. Got it? End of year 3 means you start selling at the start of year 4 lah. Make sense? So you earn from year 4 to year 16. Got it? Are we clear or not clear? All okay? Can? All okay? Make sense? Follow. So now I've got my working, so development cost is -6. This one is, remember, all minus. This is -2.5. Sorry, I just put this down. That's -6.73 already. Okay, so we got the project value now. Let's move on. It's working. Let me just double check it's working or not. Can class plus 0.5 square root s times s to power of 2. So plus 0.5 times can times 3. Are we okay so far? Let's put all this into a bracket. So divide it by something went wrong here. Safer. I use this, I don't use square root, I just use power of 0.5. Got it? Follow? Can So you get 1.04. Minus S okay, can you get this one? Yes, no? Can? Are you okay? So the last one you got is going to be PA times 21 plus minus PE times 92 Something went wrong. Okay. Let me get my EXP. Can you get this one, the final number? Don't know why this one doesn't work. Okay, let me try again. 36 times this minus 31 times should get 11.46. Can? Follow, I think I better bring this down. I better bring this up. Safer this way. Okay, are we okay in this part? All of you okay? Can? Any questions there, guys? Follow. Okay, let me just walk you through this calculation one more time, alright? Making sure you know how to get it. So the project had a development cost of 2.5 million for 3 years, correct? Start now. Start now, year 1, year 2, year 3. Year 1, year 0, 1, 2. Are we okay? So you end at the end of year 2 lah. Clear? Now, 1, 2. Follow? Okay. The next one, pay attention. The next one, because you're paying at advance, paying in start of year 0, start of year 1, start of year 2. Follow? Okay. Finish year 2 already. Then the third year, your development is completed. Pay attention, your development is completed. And so pay attention properly. So here it's viable. I believe the development phase will take 3 years, costing 2.5 million. Okay, including inflation. So no need to adjust for inflation. That's why I use the figure cost of capital straight. Does that make sense? If it was excluding inflation, then I have to use the real rate. If it is including inflation, so this is trying to mess you up a bit. Okay, got it? So that's why we use the 2.5. We followed this formula. Can? If you wanted to see the normal way I would have done it something like this, like here. 0, 1, 2. Got it? Then cash flow. Make sense? And you could have done equals NPV equals the normal way equals NPV one, two. You would have got the same number. Does that make sense? Got it? So that's basically that one. Now, the next thing is, okay, we're done with this 6.13, 6.73 already. Make sense? You know why the 6.73 is that? That's the development cost. You're going to spend this money to do this project. Now, the next thing you got there, it says, okay, fine. Once you do this, following which, okay, 2.5, following which the machine will have a market life of 12. They say market life of 12 years. Market life of 12 years. Okay, Demand is estimated to be 60 per unit per annum. Production uses a special steel alloy whose price are quite volatile, but would be 800,000 in today's prices. And Lignum intend to sell at a 12.5% premium. So I know how much money I'm making. 12.5% premium. Steel alloy prices are expected to rise 4% per annum with standard deviation of 20. So here, the alloy price of 800,000 does not include inflation. The number is excluding inflation. So because it's excluding inflation and it's a single rate, it's a single rate. Does that make sense? Not multiple rates. If it's multiple rates, then you have to do the full cash flow calculation already. But it's a single rate. So you have to pay attention whether you're dealing with a single rate or a multiple rate. So it's a single rate. Okay, fine. I can therefore apply the real cost of capital instead of using the inflationary values. It's easier to solve that way rather than me calculating the inflated cash flow for 16 years. Make sense? So in that sense, what I did was I started to see and say, okay, fine, the real cost of capital, I'm now going to use the real cost of capital based on the inflation here. This is the number. Do you remember how to get the formula for that? The real cost of capital, the formula, if you're not so sure, is I think available here. I am using this formula, the Fisher formula. Can you see the Fisher formula? So I'm using the Fisher formula, so you can write down using the Fisher formula. Can? Okay, that covers that one. So that's how I get the real rate there. Got it? So once I got my real rate, now I can kind of figure out how much is the value of this product, this value of this product that I will probably, if I invest now and I do it now, I'm going to get it in valuation terms. Now, since this is the tricky part, demand is 60,000. Okay, Lignum would need to take on a new production facility for this engine at the end of the third year development phase. Notice that third year development phase that will cost 31.4 million. Make sense? Clear? It's going to cost 31.4 million. It costs 12% risk-free rate. So 31.4 million at the end of the 3-year phase. So that is my exercise cost. If I want to take this deal, I have to spend 31.4 million. If I want to go further with this product, make sense? So that will be my exercise price on the third year. So that's my exercise price at the third year. Okay. Now, once I have that, pay attention. Once I have that, I now have to figure out how much I'm going to earn from this machine, which is going to be, I'm using this formula. I hope you know this formula, the PV formula. Okay, so I kind of use the PV. I'm using the rate here. Okay, I could have actually made a reference to the 12 years here, which was here, 12 years. Okay, that was okay also. So I'd have made a full proper reference to all my data only. Got it? Make sense? Okay, now that gives me the value in, well, it's like the year 4 onwards. Got it? Year 4 is, if I do this, the 45.95 is at the beginning of year 4, correct? Beginning of year 4 is the same as end of year 3, correct? Make sense? So therefore, I have to discount it back 3 years. Okay, do you understand why I discounted back 3 years now? Okay, so now that's my asset value. The asset value is 36.79. Okay, now you go into this mathematical computation. I'm not using the square root, SQRT, alright? I'm not using that. I'm using square root, I'm using this one. Can you see this? Power of 0.5 is the same as square root, got it? So we'll use that as an approach for square root, alright? So once I put that in, kind of settles the number in. Okay, I get that 1.04. This one also same, I'm using power of 0.5 for square root. Can? Okay, once you get these two numbers, so the numbers that you needed is not that complex. This one is a quite straightforward number. This is a quite straightforward number. You just have to know how to put that symbol inside there and make sure the sequencing is correct. Very careful with this. Be very, very, very careful with this. Make sense? Once you have done that, pay attention. Once you've done that, then you got your normal distribution. Just put that in. Can? Put that in and put the normal distribution here. And I wanted to calculate one shot, but I think it's safer for you to calculate it this way. Can? Safer for you to calculate this way. So make sure you know it's EXP, no power off. No power off. Don't go and square power 8. Okay? Don't go and square root it or power 8 off. Okay? Don't put the power symbol there. Just EXP, straight away the numbers only. Can? That should give you the number, and that's the call value. So what is the value of the project? So the value of the project for the company. So what is the value of the project? Value of the project. It's going to be your call plus the development costs. You should get somewhere about 4.74 million. Are we okay? All of you clear? Can? Now this, the way I did it, of course, you do need to make sure this comes out clean for you. Does that make sense? Okay, we're done with this one. I repeat, we're done with this one. Let me just fill up the information into the answer here. Okay, let me just put this in. And the question asks you, using Black-Scholes model, estimate the current value of the option to produce a new machinery and determine whether the company should proceed, assuming production revenues and costs arise at year end. The production revenue and costs arise at year end. They've already told you something here. Got it? So in this case, the way you answer this is going to be something like this. How much is it? 6.73. No, Can? How much is the option value? 11 point? $4.74 million. Can? That's it. Hey, that's all, 12 marks done. Okay, let's go to part B2. Can? So part B2, what did they ask you? Okay, discuss whether it's appropriate to use Monte Carlo to evaluate this opportunity. That sounds about right. Right. Can? Does that make sense? Now remember, if you put this higher, so if I put this number higher, let's say I put here 34, what happened automatically? This one drop value. Can so you do need to know the effect there, alright? Okay, let's look at higher volatility. What happens? So here, if I was to change this number, okay, we're going to see this. Change this to 34. What do you think will happen? Okay, can you see what happened? Higher volatility, higher value. Can Can? Okay, that covers this question. Can? Oh no. Uh-oh. That's not good. That's usually not good. Okay, I think it's there. Okay, are you all okay in this one, guys? Can? Oh, my conclusion gone already. I mean, like you took down the conclusion, right? It's okay. Like conclusion, it's okay. Give you 1 mark for that. Okay, any questions, guys?